So today I got a funny story, but before I can get to that, I got to fill you in on a little background. It's 2013, and we created a a demo, the first iteration of what Mythos is now, and we had just a simple adventure. I'm not going to go into the details because I don't want to spoil anything. I feel like there's so many times I've got secrets that I want you guys to discover for yourself because it's really cool stuff. And I feel like sometimes I get to talking and I get excited and then I almost spill the beans on something. So a lot of times when you see me dead stop in the middle of a sentence, it's because I've realized I don't want to give that away. I want you to find it. And because there's a certain joy when you see something for the first time, and I want the whole thing to just blow your mind when you play this for the first time. So anyway, back then, I got the system refined to the point where I had spreadsheets and I could basically plot the likelihood of an adventure killing a group based on their level and composition and stuff, and it was very, very, very finely tuned. And so when we got the Mythos system, the streamlined system running, I wanted to take and pull that in to pull that like demo adventure that we created into Mythos. And I got to tell you, like as a dungeon master, I've always been the storyteller GM. Uh, you may not be familiar with what that means, but to me, there's two kinds of dungeon masters. There is the storyteller dungeon master, and there is the I'm going to kill you dungeon master. And I've played with both, and they can both be a really good time. But I tend to be on the side of, well, they didn't see that it just killed them. Let me fudge it a little bit in their favor. That's just, I like keeping the story going. And I always feel bad when I just destroy a player. I can't help it. Like if a character gets killed, especially a higher level character, it's just kind of, oh, why did I do that? Or how, what mistake did I make? Because I feel like it's always a mistake on my part. So anyway, I pulled the new rules into the adventure that we created as a demo, and we ran through it. And there were four of us. We had, let's see, we had a friar, which is kind of a melee healer hybrid. They attack with a staff, and they have like a chance for their attacks to heal somebody in the party. They also have some healing spells, but at the level that we were playing at, he really didn't. Then I was playing a soldier. And this adventure is like you can play like solo. It's like a choose your own adventure book kind of thing, which is not what Mythos really is, but it was a fun project that we did. So I was playing a soldier, sword and shield, ability to block. So I had some decent defense. So kind of the tank of the group. Then we had a healer, which is the class name, and they're more of a like mid to long range healer with actually healing spells as opposed to the random proc type of heal, and a huntsman. And the huntsman is like just an archer. They can kind of go into three different paths, but and like focus, but on one of those three. We'll get anyway. So we got started. Things were going pretty smoothly. We took the first encounter, absolutely no problem. The second encounter, a little bit tougher, but I mean, we took a little bit of damage, but we handily beat them. And then we got to the big boss at the end. It's like a boss goblin kind of creature, and he has one crony with him for every one of the players. So we had 5 of them and 4 of us. And first turn, our friar, I was already hurt, so the friar runs up. I'm gonna hit it with my quarterstaff, see if I can get a heal off on you. And he runs up there and he swings and whiffs like so bad. And so I moved up to the boss and took a shot at him and hit him fairly hard. His armor helped a lot, but I put a dent in his health. And then the huntsman standing behind me takes a shot and manages to finish him off. We got like just a great roll. And at this moment, it feels like things are going really well for us. So we're all kind of like, yeah, this is going to be great. And the healer starts, I think, yeah, she attacked one of the goblins on this turn. So then it was their turn. And on their turn, the goblin standing beside the friar rears back a mace and caves his head in. I mean, just one shot. Our friar, so he's down. I'm like, oh. And I mean, the combat, the thing about combat that flows really, really fast is these things happen and you don't really have time to process it. You're like, our friar's dead in a heap. And so the next goblin takes a swing at me and he knocks off a chunk of my health. The next one takes a swing at me and I'm thinking, I'm so dead. And he missed. So, just completely missed. I'm like, thank goodness. So the healer takes a pretty good shot, but she's okay. And it's our turn again. So I took a swing at the goblin nearest me. I had 2, one on either side. And I managed to kill one of them. And the marksman takes a shot at one of the goblins and hits it, but doesn't kill it. So there's a goblin standing beside me. There's 2 goblins over by our healer in the body of our friar. And one of those goblins is hurt, but not dead, and which is where we'd like it to be right now. And our healer is, standing right in the middle of like a bunch of goblins. So she starts up a healing spell, and in Mythos, spells they take until they are cast. That's just how it works. You gather energy up. When you fulfill the required amount of energy to cast the spell, it goes off immediately. Like, even if it's on somebody else's turn and somehow you were to get the extra energy that you needed, the spell would immediately activate, interrupt their turn, and it's gone. So you cast as soon as the energy is full. And that's important to remember because there are some effects that can happen outside of your turn that will give you energy, and boom, you're off. So that's great. It's a cool system, really interesting. Anyway, back on topic. She starts gathering energy for the spell, and she gets within 1 point of getting the spell off, and our turn ends. And the goblin who missed me on the last turn takes another shot at my face, and this time he caves my skull in. And I mean, this is like, it's taken me a while because I'm a rambler and I'm just like all over the place on this. But this was literally within the span of like 30 seconds. Like our friar's dead and our tank's dead. And so our huntsman takes aim and kills the goblin that's like had just killed me. Then the healer at that point is like, she doesn't have a target anymore. So like the target that she had cast the healing spell on is dead. And so the heal just kind of peters out because there's nothing for it to target. So she takes her staff and tries to hit one of the surviving goblin. And she does, but it's got one hit left, and like our turn again ends with the friar and myself down, 2 boglins up, and a healer and a huntsman, and both of them were pretty hurt. So the goblin guys charge and just shrecked the 2 of them. It was amazing. And this combat took about 1:15 seconds, and we were all dead. And it was the last boss of the adventure. And it happened so fast that, like, collectively, all of our jaws dropped. We were just floored, because like this was an introductory demo adventure that I had designed to be kind of a gimme win in the previous system. And because, you know, the balance completely changed when I revised the system. Weapons are very, very deadly. That's what we learned from this, and I guess that's what I'm getting at. Mythos is actually a really realistic game. You really need to have armor if you're going to be getting hit by weapons. Spellcasters, you don't want to get hit. And even in armor, you don't want to get hit if you can help it. It's better than having, you know, some guy wearing, you know, cloth take a 2-handed sword to the face. But nobody really wants to get hit in this game. You can die even at high levels. You can die really fast. And on the other hand, magic is really powerful. So there's just an interesting dynamic where, like, you know, if a melee class can get to a caster, the caster's in trouble. And spells tend to just completely ignore armor and be pretty powerful. So if your melee can't get to a caster, they can get wrecked really fast. And the lesson we kind of learned through all of this is you really got to work together as a team. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it. And, you know, if your tank's up there fighting and somebody is just dropping, like, you know, lightning bolts on him, those are going to tear through his armor, and you need to handle that if you're ranged. If somebody breaks through your lines and tries to go after your healer, and you're an armored, you know, warrior or a soldier or, you know, a paladin or harbinger, you need to go after them. Because they can do a lot of damage really quick, and it's cool because it adds a lot of strategy. But when I was doing that balance pass, I didn't realize how much it changed. And at the time, I was really frustrated because the balance was so different. But the more I thought about it after that, the more I'm like, this is actually great, because it forces you to play as a team a lot more. So anyway, just a long, goofy story I had to share with you guys. Hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you like the videos, subscribe and just click the like button. And if you really like what you're hearing, check out our Patreon page. The link's in the description. Thanks. Bye-bye.